What are the names of the three branches of the Nevada government? Think and use some logic. Try something and see if it's right. Yes, you do. Thank you, Ms. Tackett. Nope. Nope.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, if the federal government has a certain set of names, our state's going to be any different? Yeah. Ms. Burrows. Oh. The same, it'll be legislative, executive, and judicial. Legislative, executive, and judicial. So, if the top government of the whole country has those names, guess what all 50 states call their three branches? Exactly the same. Legislative, executive, and judicial. So if we roll into this new unit and we start talking about the United States government, we're going to do Nevada government at the same time because it's very similar. That our constitution and government matches that upper government as we move forward. Next question up on the board, ladies and gentlemen. What is the function and or the job of the legislative branch? Going back to your 7th grade knowledge and some of what we've done in here already. This should go pretty quick on this one. Keep this quick, gents. Starts with C. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's known as Congress. It's not funny anymore. You need to get with this. If you do not, it's time for a new one, which is going to be right there. Got it? Okay. What is the name of the two houses of Congress? Quickly. Keep this quick, gents. Starts with C. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's known as Congress. It's not funny anymore. You need to get with this. If you do not, it's time for a new one, which is going to be right there. Got it? Okay. What is the name of the two houses of Congress? Quickly. But what are you describing there? What do we call that?
That
Don't blurt it. I'll duct tape you finally.
I pointed to it.
Then write it down finally.
That's a violation. We're not allowed to duct tape.
And it's also a violation of life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness when the United States government executes someone, but we do it anyway.
That is true.
And that's true. That's why I said
I
it.
made that argument in Miss Hunter's class, so I already knew that.
So you try having blind moments?
Can't do that.
Remember, women don't have a voice at this time?
God, yes we do.
There is no God. You can't prove it.
Yes we can.
Okay.
I want to see this.
We are allowed to vote now.
The rest of you need to be finishing what you haven't got done right, because you won't look at something yet still. Because I'm
Look who's across the door. Is that a girl? She's a girl teacher. She's allowed to teach now. She can vote. She can become president.
in 2017. We're in 1787.
No, we're not. Look at the program, man.
Okay.
2017.
And I kept saying, how do we make sure of that? How do we make sure they don't get it? Everyone finally turned to the left board and read that learning target to yourself. Those of you who have read it know the expectations walking in here, especially with the new unit. So how do we keep them from too much power, ladies and gentlemen? We have a system of
Checks and balances.
And we have that system of checks and balances because we took government and divided it into those 3 branches. All right, with that, go ahead and erase, ladies and gentlemen. Stack whiteboards, markers, erasers up. Nice and neat. Welcome back. Have your favorite game. There's only about 9 photos. Quickly, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. New learning guide. The vocab. You have a duty as becoming freshmen to pull this out and pay attention to it and use it. So right now, look at the vocab that's there. What can you already cross off that you are comfortable with? Yes, ma'am. Oh, do it to yourself. Yep. Because each of you might be more comfortable than your partner when it comes to those vocab words. Now, what Trinell asked was, or she gave the answer was, executive branch. Be cautious. You know the function of the executive branch, some of you, based on what I've seen. Do you know the powers?
Yeah.
Well, be cautious there then. So if you cross off executive branch, you know the powers? Name one. Okay. Eyeballs up. I know for the legislative branch, we keep saying it makes a law. It does. But when it's still inside of that branch, that law is called a bill. It's a proposed law. It has to go through one last step before it becomes an actual law. So we together have to start changing that. So we will start saying that they make or propose laws, and then once they reach the president, and if the president chooses to sign it, then what does it finally become?
A law.
A law. Okay, so that's one key. So what I would do on your key vocab, put a little star by bill. We need to focus on that one, and you're going to start to do that as we move forward. Alright, turn it over. Just be honest. Go ahead and rank yourself. Put today's date, 11, 27. Everyone done with ranking themselves? Hey, so this time, thank you. I only had to point out to 2 of you that if you had ranked yourself what I think was a little low, and again it goes back to have some confidence. Think about what it's asking. As we continue through this unit, and I'll remind you at least one other time, you'll take this out, rank yourself as we go through it. But what you should do, as a reminder, each time we go through one of the branches, like once you get through with the powers of Congress, come back, take the guide out, and rank yourself. Especially, if I give you a self-assessment in Mastery Connect and you get 100% on it for powers of Congress, you should take that learning guide out, and guess what you should put on there for powers of Congress, ladies and gentlemen? A 3?
4.
If you get 100%, you're a
4.
4. You're there. You're going to do fine. If you get an 85, 80%, what number might you use?
3.
3.
And
You're,
4.
yeah, you're getting there. You probably missed one and we need to figure out, but you're pretty close to actually mastering everything we're going to expect to do as we move forward. Real quickly then, right now, if you need to hole punch it because you did not, very quickly hole punch it, put it in a safe spot, and then come back, grab a quick seat. 30-second break, go. 15 seconds. Don't even read about it, just do it. We good for it.
Does anybody know
You don't need a charger yet.
the
You don't need a charger yet. Alright, time. Put everything down. Move your chair back away from the table. Yeah. Wash your hands in your lap. And listen. Your writing on the post-assessment was bad. The highest numbers of 1s and 2s I've ever have had to hand out. 3s, like they were close. 4s, probably not, but you received one out of slight generosity because I think you knew what you were truly wanting to say. You just didn't quite finish it. Pieces of it were right there, but the problem was I'd have to take a piece from here in the writing, a piece from here in the writing, and a piece here in the writing, and try to build my own sentence out of what you were trying to say. Can anyone remember what I said I would promise you when it came to writing? Well, that will use it always. You can't get through life without written communication, or typed communication, which is still written communication. But what did I promise you about writing? Show of hands. How many of you love having to write for a class? Uh-huh. How many of you would prefer not to have to write for a class? Uh-huh. What I had promised you was, when I need you to show